Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Veda and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel I show you simple but effective ways of maintaining a stress-free financial life. If you haven't already, I would love it so much if you would subscribe to my channel. And now let's get into today's video. All right, well, hello everyone and happy Monday. I hope that your weekend was fantastic. I am coming to you today, sans Mr. Simple. We had one of those weekends where we just couldn't work out a filming time. It works out like that sometimes, unfortunately. So it means you're just stuck with me for today's third cash stuffing of September. But we still had an enjoyable weekend. It was relaxing, and we've actually started watching, so we watched The Sandlot with my kids on, I think, Saturday. And my son, bless him, he was like, "This movie is so good. Why don't they make movies like this anymore?" And my husband and I just both kind of laughed because we were like, we don't know. Like, the movies of the 80s and 90s especially were particularly iconic, especially for family-related content. Like, it was just so incredible. Like, the quality of what Hollywood churned out back then was really great, but I digress. Anyways, and then last night, Mr. Simple and I started watching JFK with our son. So it's the Oliver Stone movie. It's, older. It was made in like 91, I think. Kevin Costner plays a gentleman named Jim Garrison, who was the only person actually to bring any kind of case regarding the JFK assassination. So I highly recommend it. It's so good. And I think it's probably as close to the truth as we're ever going to get as far as understanding what happened with that. But I will be done chitter-chattering now and just get into the cash stuffing. I'm going to be stuffing a total of $918 today. So I'm going to go ahead and give this cash account, and then we'll get into the stuffing. 1, 2, 3, 54, 55, 20, 40, 60, 86, 20, 40, 60, 87, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 98, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 65, 75, 85, 95, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 9, 18. So we've got it all here. I do apologize if you can hear my washer or dryer in the background. I am doing a load of laundry. Obviously, if you can hear my washer and dryer, it means I'm doing a load of laundry. and I'm only telling you this because this was brand new information to me. So Mr. Simple and I, this is actually sort of related to budgeting too, but there were some things around our house. We've been married for 20 years. And so as such, much of our, let's say, like our linens, all of our, not our plates. Our plates are not 20 years old because we've only ever had sort of cheapy kind of plates. And so we just sort of replace them from IKEA anytime any one of them breaks. But we have since discussed this year that we need to create an envelope called replacements. So I'm telling you guys this because I feel like maybe it might be helpful for some of you too. Because it like whenever you have to replace something like sheets or towels or bed linens, we had our duvet cover. I just had like a linen duvet cover in our bedroom, and it had a lot of different like tears and things like that. And so we didn't really have a place to pull that from to replace it. And then of course, when I'm like, if you give a mouse a cookie, I'm like, well, if we are replacing our duvet cover, we should probably replace our quilt. I'm one of those people who likes a lot of pillows and fluffy bedding. And because for me, our bedroom is an oasis. And so I like it to look aesthetically pleasing. I like to lay on my bed and just relax and lounge, not even just to go to bed, but just to relax in my bed. I quite like it. So I like it to be like its own little mini comfy oasis. And so we diverted some money away from our emergency fund in order to take care of those sorts of things. And so I'm telling you that, one, because we are going to be starting an envelope soon called replacements, so that when we do need to replace any kind of linens or bedding or things like that around the house that aren't necessarily home maintenance, but are things that you are going to have to replace over the course of just your life and living, and also your tastes change and stuff like that. But anyways, so that is what's currently in my washer, actually, is our new quilt that I got for our bed. But I'm telling you that because I did not know this, but Banana Republic has like a home section. So I knew that Zara had a home section. And by the way, if you've never checked out Zara Home, absolutely 1000% give them a look. Some of their stuff is modern, but a lot of their linens and some of their like little like not tchotchke, but like, you know, hooks for your bathroom, for your towels and stuff like that. Those are not, they have some modern ones, but then they have some really classic ones too. I actually have one of theirs in my powder room. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Eventually we'll get to the cash stuffing, but, and H&M also has home stuff too, but I don't recommend them as much as I recommend Zara. Zara Home is like really, really lovely, but Banana Republic has a home section too, and that's where I got this quilt, and it is so beautiful. I will link it below if it's still available, because I got the one that I got on sale, and the color that I wanted was this like really beautiful sort of neutral oatmeal color, because my walls are like a blue-green color and my duvet cover is white, and so I like to bring in like different textures but neutrals so that I can change out decorative pillows if I want to. Anyway, I'm rambling again, but I didn't know that Banana Republic Home existed, and it does. And this quilt is beautiful. It's linen and cotton, and it's got a beautiful like waffling stitch to it. And that's what's in my washer right now. And I'm very excited to throw it on my bed, but I'm done. I'm going to start stuffing now so that you guys are like not wondering why you're here. So first up, we're going to jump into high priorities thinking funds. Groceries is up first. And would you look at this? There is money left in groceries, you guys. I don't know what's happening. I'm not going to question it. We're just going to let it be, but I am stuffing 500 just in case. So I did this in a wonky way, but again, I like having a variety of change, because when I go grocery shopping, I don't have to just like pull out a big wad of 100s. And then I feel like that makes me, you know, I don't know, makes me a target. I don't know if it does, but here we go. 1, 2, 3, 54, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90. And then 500. I know that this is like really weird. If you're new here, I apologize if all of these denominations are driving you crazy. I just like this when I go grocery shopping, because I go to so many different stores now to try to maximize to max out what I can get for my dollar, honestly. So I don't want to just grab out a bunch of money all in one go. I can kind of dig through my purse and grab out the denominations that I want for my grocery shopping trip. So anyways, now in groceries, I've got 1, 2, 3, 54, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 30, 40, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, and 67. So 567. So it's not a lot left over from last week, but I will take whatever leftover I can get, frankly, at this point, because groceries are stressful. Grocery shopping is expensive. So next step is taxes, and it's getting $10 this week. And I do recommend, I'm going to just say this now, I always recommend watching my budget with me if you have any questions about what each of my categories covers. Obviously, certain things are super self-explanatory, like groceries, but if you want like a more in-depth explanation of what my categories are, those are good videos for reference, just so you can kind of understand what we're saving for that specific category, but then also just so you can kind of see what our budget looks like and then how I spread it out throughout the month. So now in taxes, we've got 20, 40, 50, 60, 75, 76, and 77. All right, medical is up next, and it's going to be getting $25 this week. Oh gosh. I make these placeholders and these envelopes actually. Any of the handmade products that you see here, I do make in my Etsy shop. It's always linked below if you are interested, but please, please do not spend money that you do not have on products that I have in my Etsy shop. You can budget just as effectively with a big old box of envelopes that you can get from the Dollar Tree. So $25 for medical. And now in medical, we've got $600 in the bank, and then $20, $40, $5, $50, $51, $52, and $53 here in the envelope. So $653 total for medical, which is nice. Car expenses is up next, and it's going to be getting $14. I know that's weird, but we had a little bit of a deficit from like 2 weeks ago to make up for, and so I just stuffed it less this week instead of, because it wasn't like a true deficit. Our goal is to not go over our spending amount in a month. Week to week doesn't matter as much for us, but that's how we make up for a deficit, by the way, is just stuffing it less the following week, if there is one. Now in car expenses, we have $750 in the bank, and then 10, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29 here in the envelope. So as you can see, we didn't really have a deficit. It was just like one of those things where it was like, I don't want to pull from the $750 that we have in the bank, so I'll just stuff it less in a future week. Home maintenance is up next. We've got, we're putting 25 in here. I was like talking like I was getting ready to count it. Now in home maintenance, we've got 100, 20, 40, 60, 85, 95, 200, 1 and 2. So 202. Again, I will take it. Household is up next, and it's going to be getting $20 this week. So I just did a 20. And now in household, we've got 20, 40, 55, 56, and 57. I don't know why my brain just like had a little hiccup there. All right, toiletries is up next, and it's also getting $20. And now in toiletries, we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Oh man, there we go. All right, clothes is getting stuffed this week, $15. And that's all she's got in there right now. I think I've mentioned this before, but I had to do a little bit of clothes shopping for my daughter and then my son and then my daughter. And so rather than stuffing the cash in the envelope, we just kept it in our checking account until all of those expenses hit, and then reconciled it afterward. And now I'm stuffing it. So that's why it's empty. It's not actually empty. It just wasn't stuffed from our checking account. All right, these little categories toward the back of our high priority sinking funds are only stuffed once a month. Finance Coach is actually getting its monthly stuff this week, and it's getting $5. Oops. All right, and now in Finance Coach, we've got 20, 40, 55, 60. And that is actually all it needs to be fully funded. And it's not due until October, I think. So we'll be unstuffing this one very soon. And then, yeah, HOA is not getting stuffed, and neither is union dues. But we are all done in high priority sinking funds, so we're just going to move down to low priority. Dine out is only stuffed with side income, so that's being skipped. Haircuts is getting $20. And now in haircuts, we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 10, 11, 12. Oops. Oh my goodness. There we go. Home decor is also being skipped right now because it's just not a priority for us. Dates is going to be getting $10. We are building this one back up after a recent anniversary date, and so it's got 20. We're also not opposed to like pulling from our own personal spending, each of us, and kind of like splitting a date every now and then too, but it just doesn't, it's not something that we really focus on. As long as we can get, our goal eventually is going to be one date a month. But like once every other month or once every few months for us is good for now. This is my husband spending money. He's getting 15 this week. And that's all he's got because we just unstuffed everything that was in here because he'd been saving for some new adjustable dumbbells. And then he bought this really like heavy duty table to be able to sit them on. And so that's what all of his money went toward. If you've been around here for any lengthy period of time, you know that he is the saver and I'm the spender. And usually what he does is he saves for like one big purchase like this. And so that's how that worked out. And he's very excited. Hers is up next. This is my spending money. I'm getting $10 this week. And that's all I've got for now. I emptied mine out by getting like Starbucks for my husband and kids. And I got like a couple little decor pieces from actually Target. I got a decor piece. I mentioned this in Friday's weekly check-in, but I got a little pear-shaped bud vase from like the dollar spot at Target. And then a little just like white pumpkin. And I'm so excited about the bud vase because my zinnias in my backyard garden are going absolutely crazy right now. And so I just keep going out there and cutting them and putting them in my bud vase. And it looks so pretty because the zinnias are like a really beautiful muted pinky peach color. So it looks sort of autumnal anyway. And then in that bud vase, they look pretty. And I've still seen them at Target. So, I mean, it was definitely a worthwhile $5. Plus, I actually really like pears as opposed to like apples or pumpkins. I don't know. I think they're a little bit more chic. I know that's nerdy, but anyways. And then the little white pumpkin was also from the dollar spot. It was $1. And so that's what made me empty out my spending. So definitely worth it. And then a 2-pack of little pumpkin mugs, also from the dollar spot. One was orange, one was white, and I just love them. So I'm very happy with my purchases. Save Your Money Ho is also my envelope, but it is to encourage me to save my money to spend it on meaningful things as opposed to just like silly things. And it's getting $25 this week. And I'm doing so well. I mean, for real, for real. So now in Save Your Money Ho, I have 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100, 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, and 23. And then last of my envelopes, I have 3, is Pretty Hair, and it's getting $15 this week. And this is for me to get my hair cut. But it's once every 12 weeks, so I still have some time to save up for this one. I just got it done not that long ago. So now in Pretty Hair, I have 10, 25, 30. And my next one is gonna be close. It's like my Christmas appointment. And so I always like to give her a better tip at Christmas time. And so I'm probably gonna be stuffing it. Usually I only need to do about $10 a week, but I'm probably gonna do $15 a week from now until Christmas so I can give her a nice little Christmas tip. So anyways, family fun, I don't believe is getting stuffed this week. No, it is not. Sorry about that. I was like getting a phone call and I was like making sure that it wasn't disrupting my filming, but it wasn't. So next up, or I'm not next up, I'm sorry. House Project is also currently on a stuffing hiatus while we save up our emergency fund. And I will be posting an emergency fund update maybe next week. We'll have to see. Maybe next week. Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be. Well, that's exciting. Okay. Last up for the day is Holiday Sinking Funds, and Gifts is up first, and it's getting $10. Oops. Now in Gifts, we've got 100, 20, 30, 40, 55, 56, and 57. Partay is up next, and it's going to be getting $10 this week. Now in Partay, we have 100, 20, 40, 50, 60, 75, 76, 77, 78, and 79. Our little holidays are all only stuffed once a month. So Valentine's Day has already been stuffed, and so has Easter. Vacation is getting 58. Again, I know that's a silly number, but I had an overage actually of $8 to stuff. And so I just was like, well, then I'll just put it in a stuffing because I couldn't make change, I think, on a weekly check-in. I think that's what happened. So I just decided to hold the deficit and then stuff it the next time I did a stuffing. And so that's what I did. So 50, oh, that's my 5, 56, 57, 58. All right, and now on vacation, what do we have? 750 in the bank. And now now in the envelope, we have 150, 200, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that is lovely. We have a couple different things planned for next year that we're really looking forward to. So building this one up now is going to be the way we get there. School things is up next, and it's getting $10. Woo! I'll grab 2 there. That would have been a disaster. Now in school things, we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100. Oh, wow. 1 and 2. That is the second envelope I have 102. Or was the other one 202? Maybe. Halloween is getting stuffed this week. This is its monthly stuff, and it's getting $12. We are low in this one because we just actually bought our kids Halloween costumes a couple weeks ago. But that, I don't mind being ahead of the game on that, and that's what the envelope is for. So now at this point, it's just to buy candy for our neighborhood kids. So now on Halloween, we've got 20, 30, 31, 32, and 33. That's more than enough for Halloween candy. Oops. And I think what I'm going to do this year is, if there's any rollover, I think I'm just going to roll it over into Eat Dessert First, which is, since I'm talking about it, I'll just tell you, it's a category in our budget now where we are saving up money to host like a dessert open house for our friends and neighbors. I talk about it so much on my channel, but it's because it's such a weird envelope name that I'm always like worried that people are like, what the heck does that mean? And if you're new, I don't want people to be like, well, wait, should I have that category? Not that you should base your budgeting categories off of what other people do, but sometimes it's helpful to see what other categories people have. So I think that's what I'm going to do this year. If there is any rollover Halloween, I'm just going to put it into Eat Dessert First. So that's the plan. Thanksgiving is up next, and it's getting $15. And we did just move over $250 into our high yield savings account. So I'm excited about that. I know that sounds so silly because you're like, well, it's literally just only going to be there until you do Thanksgiving shopping. But interest is interest. Like, I will earn, even if I get 2 days worth of interest, I am excited because that is free money and I want it. So I'm going to take it. So now in Thanksgiving, we've got $250 in the bank, and then 20, 35, 40. So $290 for Thanksgiving, which is fantastic. And if we don't have company this year, it's definitely more than enough then we'll need to feed like my little family of 4, which is wonderful. And then I might even take the rollover and put it into Eat Dessert First, because this one could use all the help it can get. And this one is actually not being stuffed this week. Christmas is up next, and it's getting 74 again. Super weird number, I'm fully aware. But it had a $1 deficit from 1 week to the next. And so I was like, I'll just stuff it less the next time I stuff it. And so that's why it's getting 74 and not 75. You may not like get mired down in the, quarters and nickels and dollars of it all, but we are just like that. We like to follow every penny. And so that $1 may not be significant to you, but I still kind of account for it so that we are not wondering where it went. So anyways, now in Christmas, we've got, I think we actually have $22.50 in the bank. I'm always behind on these placeholders, but my husband tracks everything in a spreadsheet too. So we just kind of always know what's going on. And here in the envelope, we've got 100, 50, 200, 50, 70, 95, 96, 97, 98, and 299. That is hilarious. That extra dollar would have put us up at 300, but it's fine. Anyways, that is going to do it for me for today's cash stuffing video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, I would love it so much if you would give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. I don't have any bonus content coming for you this week, so it's just going to be a normal filming schedule. So on Friday, I'll be back here with you with the weekly check-in. So that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Let me know if you have anything fun planned. I know it's just a week, like a regular weekday, but I don't know. Some of you may be going to do something fun and I want to know about it. So let me know what you're up to. And until Friday, I hope you guys have a great one. All right. Bye, everyone.